for that.
Morning, ladies.
Right.
We can't start without our jingle.
No.
Well, we could, but it would be bad.
I'm gonna shut my picture off here.
Welcome to ABC Yoga. I'm Amy, my incredible husband behind me, and of course, we'll see occasional cats. So we have a smaller class this morning, which is lovely. I'm going to mute you beauties, and we're going to find the most comfortable, relaxing child's pose possible. There's our grandfather clock keeping us honest. Big toes touch, knees spread wide. The belly is relaxed. And just taking your arms forward as we settle into our space this morning. Just beginning to bring your presence onto your mat. Allowing the body to settle, relax, to get heavy, to let go. So imagine your bones are filled with cement and you're just allowing gravity to gently pull everything towards the center of the earth. Letting go of holding in the lower back. We unhinge our jaw. Lick your lips. And just drawing our attention to that rhythmic breath throughout the practice, in and out through the nose. And we'll take a moment to set an intention for our practice. Maybe something that we can take off our mat into the world later on. But just whatever comes to the center of your mind. Let's let that go. And we'll gently take a walk with our hands to the right side of the mat. Feeling that gorgeous stretch on the left side of the body. Spreading those fingers wide, opening up the palms. And again, just letting go through the fingers. Drawing your attention to the space between the fingers. We'll walk our hands through center, just taking your time, and we'll find the opposite side. So that gorgeous stretch on the right side of the body. So you can always start on your finger pads and then allow those hands to open, feeling that stretch under the right armpit. Relax your jaw. And we'll walk our hands back through center. And finding our way into puppy pose. So your hips are going to settle over your knees. You can extend those hands, bring your forehead to the floor. If that's challenging, you can always bring a brick, settle your forehead on the brick. But see if you can melt through the upper spine. Again, you have that option to come onto your finger pads, or if it's more comfortable to open up your palms. Just settle in, opening up that middle and upper back. You're grounding through the shins. Stay here for a few breaths, or if it feels good to bring your chin forward. So we're just slowly waking up the body. Always inviting less into your practice. Taking 3 more breaths here. Connecting with that breath. Another full inhale. We let that go completely. Walk your hands a little closer towards your knees, and we'll just slide that left hand under like we're threading the needle, that left ear to the floor. Root through the shins. You'll come onto the finger pads on that right hand, and now inviting you to lift that right hand up towards the sky. Staying here, finding that breath. So options in this pose, if this is enough for you, you stay here, or maybe you tuck the right toes under and extend that right leg. So a gentle twist. Take 2 more breaths here. One more inhale. Let that go. Release the right hand to the floor. You'll find your way back into that puppy pose. So you can extend your hands at your fingertips. Maybe your hands are flat, opening up those armpits. Root through the shins. Now we'll slide that right hand under, right ear to the floor. We thread that needle, come onto the finger pads of the left hand. You stay here, or maybe invite that left hand up towards the sky. Breathing in and out through the nose. See a couple of hands lifted, beautiful. So staying here, rooting through that right shin, or tuck the left toes under, extend that leg. Finding a different balance, opening up the body, a gentle twist here. And we'll lower that left hand to the floor, coming onto our hands and knees for some cat-cows. So hands directly underneath your shoulders. Let's exhale the air out. Round the back body, let the head be nice and loose. And on the inhale, our heart shines forward. We open the collarbones, eyes towards the sky. Exhale, chin towards our chest, we round. Press that back body up towards the sky. Moving with our breath, we inhale. Cat-cow. Exhale. 3 more like that. We breathe in. Beautiful exhale. Chin towards your chest, tail tucks under. Root through the shins. 1 more beautiful breath in. Open up those collarbones. We draw the chin towards the chest. Exhale completely. Back through neutral. Toes tuck under our downward dog. So we pedal out the feet. Shake out that head. Maybe lick your lips. We begin to find stillness in our downward dog. So bending, slight bending in those knees as much as you need to. Gradually, breath by breath, we open up the backs of the knees. Those heels continually draw towards the floor. So rooting through the hands on an inhale, just lift those heels as high as you can. We find those Barbie feet. On an exhale, draw those heels down. 3 more like that, warming up our calves. We breathe in, weight into the balls of the feet. Sits bones are lifted. Maybe press your chest a little closer towards your thighs as we externally rotate those shoulders. Beautiful. Exhale, heels to the floor. We have 2 more like that. We breathe in, we lift, we open up the arches of the feet. Beautiful. Exhale, heels down. 1 more. Inhale, lift those heels, shake out that head. Exhale, downward dog. So like a wave on an inhale, we'll begin to lift our hips. We roll over into our high plank. Hands directly underneath our shoulders. Let's lift that back body, activate the core, and then we begin to roll up and back into our downward dog. So we'll do 3 more wave-like poses into our high plank. So activating, we round the spine, finding our way into our high plank. Modify if you need to, drop those knees, and then we reverse that. We lift up and over, press our chest back towards our thighs. 2 more. That rolling wave into our plank position. Take your time. Gazing straight ahead, back of the neck is lengthening. We lift, roll back into our downward dog. Gorgeous, our last one. Initiating that wave into our high plank. We roll, activate. Gorgeous, drop your knees, untuck your toes, bend those elbows, come all the way down. Forehead to the floor, those elbows hug in. We lift into our baby cobra. Forehead to the floor, toes tucked under. Find your way through high plank. Gorgeous, into our downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. So walking those big toes into that center plane, we extend the right leg up towards the sky. On an exhale, take your knee to your right elbow. We pause here. Find that core. Breathing in and out through the nose. Can you bring that knee a little closer to your tricep? We extend the right leg as we push back and lower that right leg to the mat. Toes, big toes into that center plane. On an inhale, the left leg lifts. Find that length. On an exhale, knee towards that left elbow. Pausing, find that breath. Activating that core. 2 more breaths here. We take another full inhale. On an exhale, extend that left leg up. And we'll lower it down. Finding your way into downward dog. Let's cycle through a vinyasa, a modified vinyasa. So we inhale to high plank. Drop your knees to the earth. And slowly lower that chest to the floor. We find baby cobra or upward dog. You can press through child's pose. Tuck your toes under, downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Steady breathing. Shake out that head. Rooting through our hands, let's walk our feet up towards the heels of our hands. Keep your feet hips distance apart. We'll take that deep forward fold, bend those knees as much as you need to, shake out your head. Gently rock the weight into the balls of the feet. Maybe see if you can lift those heels off the floor. Your hands are keeping you supported. You can keep your eyes soft, maybe closed, finding that internal landscape. We'll take our heels down. We'll interlace our fingers. Gently take the interlaced hands behind the head. We'll rock our head side to side. Soften through those gripping toes. And keeping your hands behind your head, we'll begin by bending our knees and we'll slowly unwind the spine. But keep that support behind your head. Rolling up. The last person up is the winner. Beautiful. And we'll release our hands alongside the body. Tasanasti Tahi, hands at the center of your heart. Close your eyes. Rooting through the feet. We'll gently flutter our eyelids open, finding Surya Namaskar A. So on an inhale, arms reach up high. We forward fold into our Uttanasana. Take your time. Halfway lift, hands can rest on your shins. And we'll step or jump your feet back, high plank to low. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Steady breathing. Equally rooting through your hands and feet as we begin to activate that breath. Ujjayi, victorious breath in and out through the nose. Please take one more full inhale. We let that go. Look forward, walk, maybe hop to the top of the mat. We find that halfway lift again. Uttanasana, crown of the head towards the floor. Full breath in. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. as we take our hands to our heart center, Samastitihi. Again, full breath in. We melt forward, swan dive, take your time. Halfway lift. Step, maybe jump those feet back, high plank. Drop your knees if you wish to low. That cobra, maybe an upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog, pause and breathe. Steady breathing. Shake out that head. On an inhale, we find our way through high plank. We'll drop our knees again. 5 push-ups. You can find regular push-ups. Otherwise, we bend through the elbows all the way down. Push up. 4 more. Last 3. We do what we can. Last 2. And 1 more here. Tuck your toes under into our downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Shake out that head. Steady breathing. Please take 1 more inhale. We let that go completely. Look forward, bend the knees, step, maybe hop to the top of the mat. We find that halfway lift. Deep forward fold into our chair pose. So dropping the hips, extending those arms, the palms facing one another. So we extend those arms in line with our ears, energetically squeezing those knees together. Couple more breaths here. Can you sit a little deeper? Maybe lift those hands a little higher. Gorgeous. 1 more inhale. On an exhale, we take our hands to our heart center as we fold forward. Take your time. Finding that halfway lift. We step or jump those feet back. High plank to low. A cobra or up dog. Downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. That right leg lifts. We step it forward into warrior 1. Full breath in. We'll come onto the ball of the left foot into that high lunge. So you can modify dropping that left knee to the earth. Noticing where those hands are, take them in line with your ears. Steady breathing. We draw those floating ribs back into the body. Tracking that right knee over the right ankle. 1 more inhale here. Hands to the floor, right leg back, your vinyasa. Take your time, we move with our breath. A cobra or maybe upward dog. Gorgeous downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Our left leg lifts. We step it forward through warrior 1. Come all the way up. Come then on the ball of the right foot into that high lunge. So again, we take those hands in line with our ears. Soften those shoulders down the back body. Track that left knee over the left ankle. Eye gaze straight ahead. Finding that breath in the body. Gorgeous. 1 more inhale here. On the exhalation, hands come to the floor. That left leg back. High Hana, high to low. A cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. We pause and breathe. Reconnecting with that breath again and again. Our active mind wants to plan, judge, think, give it a job to connect with that breath again and again. Please take 1 more inhale. We let that go. Look forward. Walk, maybe jump to the top of the mat. We find that halfway lift. Deep forward fold into our chair. So lines of energy out through the fingertips. Squeeze those knees. Lift those hands a little higher. Your gaze is straight ahead. Can you tuck your tail? And lift those hands a little higher as you settle a little deeper. We take our hands to our heart center as we fold. Beautiful. We find that halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back. High plank to low. And cobra or up dog. Gorgeous. Downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Right leg lifts. We find warrior one. We rise. Coming onto the ball of the left foot into that high lunge. Steady breathing, reaching those hands in line with your ears. And we'll lower our hands to the floor, right leg back, your vinyasa, high to low, a cobra or up dog, downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Left leg lifts, step it forward, warrior one. We rise, come on the ball of that right foot into that high lunge. So the scissor action in our hips. Can you lift those hands a little higher? Steady breathing. And we'll lower our hands to the floor. Vinyasa, high plank to low. Cobra or up dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Steady breathing. Two more breaths. We take one more inhale. Let that go. Look forward, bend the knees, step, maybe hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. That deep forward fold into our chair pose. So arms extend again. Looking straight ahead, reach those hands a little higher. So weight into the right foot. We're just going to bend that left knee. Hold that balance. You can squeeze that knee towards the right knee. We'll stay here and then slowly step back into that high lunge. And from here, can you come on the ball of the right foot? Find that balance, opening up the arch. You stay here. Maybe put the heel down and we'll find that lightning bolt. Steady breathing. Lower hands to the floor, right leg back, high to low, cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Finding our downward dog. Relax that breath in and out through the nose. We take one more inhale. Let it go completely, look forward, deep bend in the knees and the hip creases. You step, walk, maybe hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, forward fold, into that chair pose. So finding the opposition in the posture, everything from the hips down are rooted, everything from the hips up is lifted. Steady breathing. Energetically, we squeeze those knees together. Now we take the right foot off the mat, find the balance, and then slowly extend that right leg to that high lunge. Our tail is tucked under, those floating ribs are drawing in. So you're rooting through the left foot, then inviting you to possibly lift that left heel off the mat. Slow down that breath. Keeping that heel lifted or maybe bringing that heel back to the floor into that beautiful lightning posture. I've got to figure out what this name is, but you're reaching forward. Beautiful. Take the hands to the mat, left leg back, vinyasa, high to low. Cobra or up dog. Beautiful. We'll meet in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Steady breathing. Please take one more inhale. We let that go completely. Look forward, deep bend in the knees, step or hop to the top of the mat. We find that halfway lift, forward fold, back into that chair position. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. Those thighs are talking. So you're looking straight ahead again. We lift those hands in line with our ears. Rooting through the right foot. Again, we'll take a bend in that left knee. Draw that heel in towards your bottom, and we'll slowly step that leg back. Now take your hands to the floor into that low lunge. Untuck the toes. So we melt our heart. We melt our hips. We lift our heart, open up the collarbones. Spreading those right toes. Staying here or finding that quadricep stretch. So if you need to give a little more cushion, you can curl over the side of your mat and you're just lifting that left heel up towards your bottom. So hands can root. Maybe you take one hand on the foot or maybe both hands. You're in charge of the stretch. So take your time. Steady breathing. Can you lift your heart? Let's take one more breath here. On an exhale, we slowly release that left leg. And we'll draw our hips back. Flex the right toes. So maybe you reach the heel a little further. Hands supported on your fingertips. If this is challenging, you can always use your bricks. But a beautiful long spine. Bringing your chin towards the shin. Honoring those tight hamstrings by bending that right knee slightly. Gorgeous, 2 more breaths here. We take another full inhale. Let that go. We lift, take a deep bend in that right knee again. You stay here, or one more time. We bend that left knee, draw the heel in. You can take one hand or both hands, find that support. Your gaze is straight ahead. Unhinge that jaw. We release our hands to the floor. Coming onto the outer edge of that left foot, we'll step the right foot back to Vashisthasana, or find that supported knee to the earth. So honor where you are. Lift those hips. Spread the fingers wide. Now we'll take a bend to that right knee into wild thing. So opening up the front of the body. Shake out that head. Breathing here, lift those hips. One more inhale. On an exhale, that right hand comes to the floor. Find your way through downward dog. Pause and breathe. Child's pose is always available. Just honor where you are. Please take one more in-breath. We let that go completely. Look forward, bend the knees, step, walk, hop to the top of the mat. We find that halfway lift. A deep forward fold into our chair pose. We have that other side. So lines of energy out through the fingertips, tuck your tail. Let's lift those hands a little higher. Gorgeous. So we find a bend in that right knee, weight into that left foot. Find that balance, look straight ahead. Your eyes, you go wherever your eyes go. So look straight ahead, and with mindfulness, we slowly bring that right leg down into that supported low lunge. Untuck the toes, melt through the hips, breathe through the right shin, open up the collarbones. So maybe walking that left foot forward, feeling the stretch in that right hip. And staying here, or we take a bend in that right knee. You can start with one hand, maybe both hands. Again, you have the option to roll the mat up to give a little more support under that right knee. So finding that gorgeous quadricep stretch. We just do what we can, spread the toes on that left foot. We take one more breath here. Slowly let the hands release. Now we'll draw the hips back. flex the left toes. So we begin to lengthen, beautiful long spine, bringing your chin towards that left shin. Rooting that right shin to the earth. 2 more breaths. Please take 1 more inhale. We let that go. Deep bend in the left knee again. Stay here, or one more time. We take a bend with that right knee. Take 1. Start with 1 hand and maybe both hands. Gazing straight ahead. Take 1 more in breath. Let it go. Gently release the leg. We'll step back through high plank. Spin the heels to the right, Vashisthasana. So the left hand up towards the sky. We lift those hips. Modify, if you wish, dropping that right knee to the earth. So imagine you're that beautiful rainbow shape. Let's just even take our hand this side, left hand up and over. Breathing in. From here, we bend the top knee, take it behind you into Wild Thing. So the left foot is rooted. You're finding the support of the right foot as well. Lift those hips a little higher. Gorgeous. And we'll release that left hand to the floor. From high plank, your vinyasa. You can skip it and meet in downward dog. Steady breathing. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Slow down the breath. Hollowing out those armpits. Activating those heels a little closer to the floor. If your eyes are closed, soft eye gaze. We'll take the big toes to the center plane. The right leg lifts again. We take the knee to the nose, hold here around that back body, lift the back body, root through the hands for 3, for 2, on 1, high lunge. So the hands come all the way up. Now we bring our hands to our heart center. A full breath in, gentle twist to the left, to the right. Left elbow outside the right knee. Drop the left knee to the earth if you wish. You could spread your wings. Take a balance. We'll bring our prayer back together. Finding your way back through that high lunge. Gorgeous. Hands to our heart center. We'll push off the back leg, Virabhadrasana 3. So the left leg lifts. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. Steady breathing. We'll take our hands back through heart center in your version of standing split. So be gentle, especially if you didn't sleep well last night. Just do what you can. You showed up. Carving out this time to reconnect with your breath, to open the body. Beautiful. 1 more inhale. Just slowly lower that left leg down in line with the right. We find that halfway lift, the deep forward fold. Inhale, we rise. And we'll take our hands to heart center as we fold. Halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back, high to low plank. Cobra or up dog. Downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Big toes into that center line. The left leg lifts. We draw the knee to the nose, shoulders over the wrist. Hold here, activate that core. Breathe in, lift that back body. Look between your hands. Step the left leg forward. We find our way into that high lunge again. Take your time. We're moving with mindfulness. Drawing those floating ribs back in. Scissor action in the hips. We bring our prayer to our hearts. We lift and twist Right elbow outside the left knee. Spreading the toes on the left foot. Reach that right heel towards the back of the mat. So taking the belly in and up towards the spine, maybe twist a little deeper. Beautiful, maybe expand. You can always take the balance. 2 more breaths. We take 1 more inhale. On an exhale, bring your hands back to center. We're gonna step that right foot to the left, back through chair position. Beautiful, and extend the arms. We bring our prayer to our heart center. 2 more twists here. We lift, we twist to the right. Navel in and up towards the spine, toes spread wide. Maybe splay those hands again. As we bring our hands to our heart, we come back through center. Last time. Our digestion is really working now. We're twisting everything out. Beautiful, expand. Put a smile on your lips. So grateful and thankful for our bodies. Hands back to our heart. Last time, our thighs are talking through our chair. Hands to heart center as we fold. We split those feet hips distance apart. Yes, it's time for gorilla. Fingers on those big toes, halfway lift. Elbows out to the side, crown of the head towards the floor. Shake out the head. Drawing those shoulders in the opposite direction of your ears. So freeing up that head and neck a little more. Slow down the breath, relax the face. Keeping your hands on your toes, or we go a little further. Hands underneath our feet, toes towards the wrist creases, halfway lift, navel back in and up towards the spine. Soften those knees slightly, elbows out to the side. Just let go. Eyes are soft or closed. Just clearing those shadows away from the back of your eyes. We'll release our hands. Again, interlace those hands behind your head. Slight traction on the head to the right and left. And keeping that grip behind your head, we bend our knees and just slowly unwind the spine. Take your time. You can release your head, and we'll bring our hands to our heart. Samastitihi. Steady breathing. Remembering that intention we made at the beginning of class. As we flutter our eyelids open, releasing your hands alongside the body. Now we'll open up our feet, straddle our legs, hips distance apart. And we take a full breath in as we melt forward, taking those fingers in line with our toes, halfway lift, crown of the head towards the floor. So if you want to take an inversion, a headstand here, take your time. Or take those hands behind your legs. You can come onto your finger pads. And maybe inviting a little weight into the balls of the feet. Protecting the hamstrings, lower back, by bending those knees as much as you need to. Please take 1 more inhale. We let that go. We walk our hands in line with our toes. Spin the left toes out into Skandasana. One of Stacy's favorites. So maybe bringing your hand to your heart center or supported. We showed up. We do what we can. We do our best. Tomorrow is another day. So letting go of that destination. So we'll come to the other side, deep bend in the right knee, that left foot flexes, we drop into those inner groins. Start with maybe one hand. 2 more breaths. We'll come back to center. Heel toe those feet together into our malasana. So knees protected, they're over our ankles. Hands to your heart center. Close your eyes. Nice, we'll flutter those eyelids open. You can let's actually take our hands. You can walk your hands behind your heels. Maybe bring your hands behind your feet, settling onto your arms. Maybe take one foot up, both feet up, or maybe cross your ankles. Just do what you can. Always Titabasana, or let's just lower down into a straddle position. So we find that internal rotation, hands supported. Let's walk over to the left leg, chin towards your chest. We keep those sits bones rooted. So I need to encourage my right sit bone down and play your edge. Maybe take that right hand up and over. Gorgeous stretch, opening up the side bodies. And we take an in-breath, we lift and come to the other side. So let's take a gentle twist over that right leg. Feel supported with a brick. Again, encouraging that left sit bone down. Maybe going a little further, left arm up and over. Relax the jaw. Enjoying that inhalation and exhalation as we walk our hands back through center. And maybe finding those forearms. Supporting your head with a brick. Whatever is available. Two more breaths here. One more inhale. We let that go. We lift our heart, walk your hands back towards the center body, and we'll just draw those legs together. Taking a bend in the knees, let's wrap our arms around our legs, forehead towards your knees. Feel the feet, the sits bones. Breathe into that back body. As we lower our shoulders away from our ears, let's lift our heart. We'll take our hands behind our knees, Navasana, boat pose. So squeeze those knees together. We'll extend those arms and we'll find toe taps. So right foot down, left, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, keep going, 8, 9, we've got 10 more, 8, 7, 6, 5, last 4, relax your jaw, 3, 2, and 1, beautiful. Those knees squeeze back together, and just drop those feet. Let's take a rounded back again. Relax your forehead towards your knees. Slow down that breath. Let's lift our heart. One more time, one more ab work. So support your hands behind you. You can keep your hands at your heart. I'm going to modify. We squeeze our knees in. On an exhale, we extend. We breathe in and lengthen. 3. Maybe take the hands off the floor. You're in charge of you. We have 5 more. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just release those feet back to the floor. Find those sits bones. Let's take one more wrap. Round that back body. Slow down the breath. Spreading out the toes, breathing space between the toes. And please lift your heart. We'll extend our legs, releasing that extra flesh, Paschimottanasana. A full breath in as we hinge forward. Deepest forward fold of the morning. Two more breaths here. We take a final full inhale. Let that go. On an inhale, we lift our heart. We'll take a bend in that right knee for a version of Marichasana C. So right knee bends. You can keep your hands supported here or reaching for that shin. So just taking that forward fold, a strap is always a great option here. Right foot is rooted, a beautiful long spine. And then we'll take a hold of that right knee, take that left elbow outside the right knee, right hand supports. We take that inhalation, we lengthen through the spine as we gently twist to the right. 3 more, inhale. And we gently twist, using that connection of the left elbow against the right knee. 2 more, inhale, heart lifts as we gently twist. 1 more, inhale, a deep twist, and we take that counter twist in the other direction. Beautiful. Please extend that right leg, shake it out. Marichasana C version on the other side. So start with that bent left knee, sits bones root. You can always sit on a brick and just take the left hand on the inside. You're just reaching towards the shin, a nice tall spine. Always an option to use that strap or hand towel. We'll come back to center as we hold on to that left leg. Left hand supports behind the hip. We take that right elbow outside the knee. Lift your heart, spread the fingers, and twist. So using that traction, we breathe in and gently twist. 2 more, inhale. And we twist. 1 more full breath in. Let's twist over that left shoulder. We take a counter twist in the other direction. Come back to center. Extend that left leg. Bend the knees as we come onto our back body, squeezing those knees into our chest. So finding opposite elbows, maybe you hang onto your wrists. Inner knees are drawing in towards one another, and then gently draw the knees into the chest. So imagine those shoulders connecting with the floor, finding that gentle compression of the knees against the chest. Letting those hips open. Relax the face. We'll cactus those hands out to the side as we drop the knees to the right. And maybe taking the chin towards that left shoulder. Can you find all of the fingers connected with the floor, palms up towards the sky? Soften something in this practice. Rhythmic breathing. And we inhale those knees back to center. And we'll find the opposite side. So drop the knees to the left. Just keeping your head level for a few breaths. Those knees are squeezing in towards one another. Find that connection with the core. And after a few breaths, maybe draw your chin over that right shoulder. Can you take the back of your hands to the floor? Pin the shoulders to the earth. We'll draw those knees back to center. I've not forgotten the hips. We'll find a figure four. So right ankle over left knee, interlace below the knee or underneath the thigh. Flex both feet, draw that left knee in. Relax the jaw. Hugging that left knee in a little closer. The shoulders draw away from your ears, the belly's soft. We stay here or finding a deeper twist by taking that right thigh on top of the left. You can bump your hips to the right side of the mat. Cactusing those hands is an option as you draw the knees towards the floor. So a much more intense stretch. Please honor where you are. We have 2 more breaths here. Please take 1 more in breath. We let that go completely. We draw our knees back to center, unwrap the legs, and we'll find the other side. So left ankle, top of the right kneecap, bend that right knee in, flex the feet. Same connection underneath the thigh or below the right knee. Send the breath, use that tool, draw to the outer left hip. Can you relax the body? Let it soften. And maybe with that next inhalation, you can draw that right knee a little closer. We play that edge, back up a little bit, find the breath. Never straining. We're cluing in, listening to our body. We stay here or find the wrap, left thigh over the right. You can bump your hips to the right side of the mat. Allow those knees to fall to the floor, support them with a brick. And again, maybe you don't do this posture. Just unwrap the knee. Soften, let go. Let's unwrap the legs. We'll squeeze those knees into our chest. And taking the soles of our feet together, hands on our ankles, elbows inside the knees, we draw those heels towards our inner groins. As we take our hands inside our arches of our feet, we find our happy baby. Rock the spine side to side. And before we go into Shavasana, we'll do a modified inversion. So just take your legs up, just keep your legs in an upward position. You can flex your feet. You can always support underneath your hips. Maybe you're tired, you can take your legs against the wall. But let's turn our palms up towards the sky if you're not supporting underneath your hips. Slow down that breath. Taking a body scan, let go. Notice if your jaw, cheekbones, inner ears, notice if they're gripping, let those go. So weaving back the belly, let the belly let go. We have 3 more breaths here with the legs extended up. Keep releasing. And we'll take a bend in the knees, feet flat on the floor, finding Shavasana, or maybe just allow those knees to kiss. Just letting go of any control of breath, settling into any version of Shavasana. You can keep those legs extended. Finding that next incoming breath. Side out, as we wiggle our toes and fingers back awake. Inviting you to squeeze those knees back to your chest. You can stay in Shavasana as long as you wish. And find our way slowly to a comfortable seated position. Take your time. Inviting you to bring your hands to your heart center. Eyes soft or closed. You can't rely on how you look to sustain you. What sustains us, what is fundamentally beautiful, is compassion for yourself and for those around you. Lupita N'yongo. So bringing your hands to your heart center, bowing your fingers to the tips of your bowing your forehead to the tips of your fingers. Remembering that intention we made at the beginning of class. And thanking yourself for carving this time out to come more in touch with your breath, to open up the body and to quiet the mind. So let's join our voices together to seal class with one beautiful Om. We sip in that inhale. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Let me know how those thighs are. I already feel them. But appreciate you all joining us this morning. Make it a great day. Thank you for showing up. And if any feedback, comments, postures you want to work on, please let us know. But thank you so much.
I loved that. That whole thing felt really good.
Oh,
too.
good.
Yeah.
I hope you get a good night's sleep tonight, Heidi.
Oh, maybe.